Hey all, this will be my recap for Thursday, August 31st sales, last day of the month. Just a couple of sales, so we'll go through that and then I'll share where we finished for the month of August. Bummed we didn't finish strong these last couple of days, but still a pretty good month. So, let's get to it. Kicking it off with Etsy. 2023 IDW Comics The Rocketeer Den of Thieves Con exclusive #1. Got this book from San Diego Comic Con as exclusive from IDW booth. Rocketeer is an old school superhero. I like to think of him as the original Tony Stark. Rocketeer was set back in the 1930s, telling the story of stunt pilot Cliff Secord, who discovers a hidden rocket pack that he thereafter uses to fly without the need of an aircraft. His heroic deeds soon attract the attention of Howard Hughes and the FBI, who are hunting for the missing rocket pack, as well as the Nazi operatives that stole it from Hughes. Disney made a move about it in 1991 and the Rocketeer helmet has become iconic. The only thing I remember about that movie was Jennifer Connelly, who was at the height of her powers back then. So, she is the real superhero in my opinion. I got $30 for this book. I still have 2 of the base covers listed on Etsy for those interested. Moving on to our last item of the day and the month. New Star Wars Bad Batch 13-inch reusable tote bag, 2 small 9' bags. Cool bags from a cool Disney Plus series. Bad Batch series follows Clone Force 99. Known as the Bad Batch. They are a group of elite clone troopers with genetic mutations that were first introduced in the Clone Wars. They were sort of the defective clone troopers, so they didn't really follow Order 66 to kill the Gentis. The series takes them on daring mercenary missions in the aftermath of the Clone Wars. My kid loves the series. I got best offer of $12 for these bags. I have all these bags from cons and shops. I'm sort of a modern day bag lady according to my wife. Anyways, that is it today's sales. Just the 2 items today. Gross sales ended up being $42. Shipping and handling was $9 or 21% of my total sales. Normal there. Selling fees were $6 or 14% of sales. Good there. This leaves me with a net of $27. Taking out the cost of goods of $16. It leaves me with a net profit of $11.25. All in all, normal day and percentages. Just not a lot of items. So that is it with August. I like month ends as it gives you a time to reflect on the last 30 days. I learned this from my career working in business, where we look at things in monthly, quarterly and yearly increments. August numbers show 175 items sold. Last month I did 122, so I did a big jump in August. Since doing this, I've averaged about 129 a month, so a lot of listings sold. $2,981 in gross sales. Bummed I couldn't squeeze a few more sales in to hit $3,000. August was my biggest month last year at $3,700, but last year one had more conventions. Still happy with this past month. Shipping and handling was $516 or 17% of my total sales. If you follow each day, I'm always referencing the averages. Been closer to the 20% overall, so happy with 17%. What we've learned from stats class is everything will regress to the mean. Selling fees were $522 or 18% of sales. Also, about the average, August net was $1,943 with the cost of goods at $1,047. Again, the way I look at this is I moved $1,047 in inventory while I recouped $1,943 cash that I can pocket or reinvest in more inventory. What I usually do, to the dismay of my wife, is reinvest in inventory and beer. Don't forget my investment in beer. So, this leaves me with $895 in net profit or 30%. I'll take this all day long. With the way gas and inflation are going, anytime you can get 30% return in the dollar is good. This is better than normal as I hover closer to the 25% mark. Some notable numbers from August are most items were sold on eBay, with Etsy and Mercari right behind. One thing to note here is eBay is across 9 sites, so really Mercari can be considered king. My reselling has really evolved and August shows 62% items came from Mercari. Etsy. Comic books lead the way again with 42% of my sales. Wearables and cards followed. Wearables are pins, socks, clothes. My bread and butter have always been cards and comics, which represented 55% of my stuff. In the collectibles world, it makes sense to be comics and trading cards. Looking at the brands, it correlates with comic books leading the pack, as Marvel and DC items were the most items sold. Disney rounds out the top 3. The big 3 of Marvel, DC and Disney were 39% of my total items sold. If you think about Marvel, Disney and squinking in tied at 10th being Star Wars, I owe a lot of collective sales to the big mouse. Mickey as the Disney umbrella was almost a third of my sales at 28%. The top 10 overall represented 74% of sales. All in all, a good month. I hope these added stats help in case you are figuring out what would be good to start your online reselling adventures. I've always just got into things that I appreciated and was a fan of myself, so it helps. Remember, most of doing your own thing is being part of things you love. Alright, that is it, and thanks for watching again. Moving on to September. As always, check out my stores and shoot me an offer. If you have any questions too about running your store, let me know. I can offer my suggestions and my experiences. Send in your comments and questions and I may read them in my next video. Thanks. Bye. 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 Bye.